Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. And now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Peterson, Charles, at age 33, I think when he signed with the Redskins, people were wondering what would this season be like. Well, it started off pretty good.
Yeah, and you remember the reason why they're asking that question. Age 33. Last season didn't end very well in Arizona. Had some good games, but was hurt down the stretch. Didn't have those games again. But now, 96 yards in the season opener for Washington at Arizona. Comes back for 20 against Indianapolis. And then 120, a big performance against Green Bay. At his best, you're getting to Adrian Peterson, the defense's fear.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively. Offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Dotson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU. And, boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Third and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Out of the gun, Smith. Able to find Harris, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. They give it to Peterson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jonathan Joseph is that wily veteran that you want on your team at all times. He's great in the locker room, fantastic on the field. And if you're a young guy, just watch how he prepares. What is he doing to combat old age? Pilates and yoga. That's extending his career, making him more flexible, and still that guy who can go out there and cover the elite receivers in the NFL.
They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the gun, here's Smith. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Their franchise quarterback, the one leading them out, back to full health now for his 2nd season out of Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
What a start to his NFL career as a rookie. 19 touchdown passes in just 6 starts. That was more touchdowns than Joe Flacco, Tyrod Taylor, or Marcus Mariota. And Houston went 1-8 after losing him, which lent credence to many people saying he should have been the Rookie of the Year based on his play and how Houston did without him.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Come up the lowest yards per carry average of his career is Lamar Miller at 3.7, and that's not normal for him because of his versatility. Can catch it out of the backfield, but his best attribute, high-volume ball carrier. Runs it inside with power, physicality, and some really good vision in order to break some big runs.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And here's the Redskin defense.
A force off the edge is Ryan Kerrigan, who's had 24 sacks in the last 2 seasons alone, and that's second only to Chandler Jones over that span. Not only does he get to the quarterback, he knows how to strip the ball away from him as well. And that was something he did particularly well when he was at Purdue. Noted for forcing fumbles, for takeaways. He's carried that over quite well in the NFL.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Texans send the punter out. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Washington Redskins. Charles, this is a team, as their offense comes back out, a team that you've seen several times this year. What do you make of this crew as we hit the home stretch of the regular season?
They're old school. I mean, truly old school football. Run the football on offense, stop the run on defense. and that's how they've won games. Adrian Peterson, been a revelation this season. Multiple games over 100 yards, approaching 100 yards in other games, but when he doesn't run it well, they don't win the football game. And that defensive front starting to come into its own, stopping the run and making people one-dimensional, that's how they win their games best, not throwing the ball.
And just looking at their schedule towards the end of the season, week 13 and 17, both against the Eagles, those could be two huge football games.
Could be monster games, and don't forget, Washington already has a win over Dallas earlier this year.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Handoff comes to Peterson. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
I know this may come a little bit out of left field, but have you ever shaken Adrian Peterson's hand?
Well, you told me it just engulfs yours.
I mean, it engulfs you, and it crushes you. All right, you get done shaking his hand, and you may not have a hand, which always surprises me later that he has as many fumbles as he has in a game. I wouldn't figure that anyone could get the ball out of his hands.
The Houston Texans, Charles, they had that 0-3 start, and then they got hot. And I don't know, maybe it's because of that slow start. Is that why we're not hearing as much about them as a contender this year?
I think that is a huge part of it. In addition, Kansas City's been so exciting and winning a lot of games. New England is New England, and they play high-profile games and win them. The Chargers, they've been on the scene a little bit because Philip Rivers is so recognizable. And, of course, Pittsburgh now getting back in form. So you're right. When they were 0-3, they were pretty much buried. But remember what their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, said at that time. We're going to get this thing right. Don't jump on the bandwagon then. Jump on it now because we're going to be pretty darn good. And he was so correct. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Out of the gun, Watson. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. They'll go with Foreman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And Lamar Miller caps it off with a touchdown run. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A beautiful fake. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Watson. And his throw is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Peterson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. That's pulled in at the 32. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Back 22! Back 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pass incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Watson. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he finds his man Griffin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And we will not see another play as time has run out on this 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. QT, Charles, he didn't make his debut this year until week 4. Busted out with 11 catches in that win over Indianapolis. And now you got Will Fuller done for the year with a knee injury. He's a big part of this offense.
He certainly is, because he's quickly going to have to become one of those go-to guys for Deshaun Watson, and a guy that he can get the ball to pretty fast, because Will Fuller provided a lot of speed and flash and could work inside and outside. QT's going to work out of the slot mainly. Get it to him and let him go.
Watson hands this to Foreman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Watson, operating from the gun. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is, for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. They start the drive with Peterson. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a run with Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. They'll fake it. Now Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackling.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first down carry now for Miller. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this one go. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 67 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Smith looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
I said 980.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Griffin. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Watson over the middle, complete. It's Griffin. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Watson now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Watson operating from the gun. Caught here by Griffin. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, athlete a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready, wide, 80. I said.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Wide, 80.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the end zone. Peterson tackled for the safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at about the 14. And our attention shifts to Alfred Blue. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter.
Back 22.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15.
Back 22.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Crowder now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
I said 980. I said.
Now Peterson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
In our game is Deshaun Watson, showing no ill effects from that knee injury that knocked him out last year. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Back to throw, Watson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Watson off play action. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, thinking ahead, Charles, quickly to Week 11. That game, Kansas City and L.A. down in Mexico City, that's going to be fun. But Philly and New Orleans, that's going to be a heck of a game.
It certainly is, because Philadelphia is the defending Super Bowl champs. But guess what? They're not seen as the equal of New Orleans in 2018. This could be a statement game for them. And how about the way the teams picked their uniforms for this one? Did you hear this story?
Yeah, a little golf competition between the head coaches.
Yeah, Doug Peterson, Sean Payton. I guess it was the third hole of their golf match, and whoever won that hole got to pick the jerseys.
And Peterson won, so he will pick the uniforms for that contest.
How about that one?
Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run. Peterson. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Smith on 3rd down. He finds his target. It's Crowder. It'll be a Redskin 1st down as Smith hits Crowder. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brandon Dunn in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15. Out of the gun, Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Smith. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Adrian Peterson from 17 yards out. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, switching gears for a second, let's look ahead to some of the big games of Week 11. And I think the biggest one is occurring south of the border, no doubt. How about the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams playing in Mexico City?
Yeah, neither team unbeaten as they go into it, but still one of the biggest games of the year in the NFL. Remember when they shared a state, the state of Missouri, they used to play for the Governor's Cup. Now they're going to play in Mexico City, and all the eyes of the NFL will be on this one. First team to 50 wins?
I think that. I was just going to say, I think that might be the case. And can anybody slow down Patrick Mahomes?
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. On 1st down, Smith. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Smith. And this one complete to Reed. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Peterson, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Again, Peterson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Smith. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Hopkins with the extra point, and this is back to a 5-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Houston. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Throwing again is Watson. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Preston Smith in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Crowder. Good move at the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
Well, they were really good on the last drive. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run again with Peterson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's Tressway now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Watson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, oftentimes when we get a chance to talk league-wide, we go offensive. We don't get a lot of defensive talk. But let's talk about some young rookies. I know you've told me Darius Leonard of the Colts has really impressed you.
He certainly has. He's impressed the entire league. I mean, at times he approaches 20 tackles a game. Sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone, out of South Carolina State. So you don't think about it, but you should. Derwin James with the Chargers, been as good as advertised at the safety position. Jair Alexander, the corner from Green Bay, missed a couple of games early in the season, but he got the attention of the New England Patriots brass before they played. They were really impressed with him. But Bradley Chubb is doing exactly what we thought he would do, chasing down quarterbacks. And Dante Action Jackson out of LSU with Carolina really knows how to ball hawk and take the ball out of the air and take it the other way.
Well, you were ready for that. That's a good list of defensive rookies right there. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Smith on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a 1st down here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. They go play action here on 1st down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Two 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And this one is incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Dancing to his left. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, Smith. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Michael Floyd, 38 yards. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Now Watson, operating from the gun. Throw left side, complete to QT. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up,
right.
Hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 1st down, it's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Watson looks to throw again. Over the middle here to Coates. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Sammy Coates, 28 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. Smith finding Dodson that time for a Washington first.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Smith on 1st down. Being chased out left. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Flushed out right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Here's Smith now on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Floyd. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They give it to Peterson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Smith. And this is caught in the end zone. It's Dotson for the Redskins touchdown. Josh Dotson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. To throw is Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson on the right side. This is Miller. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On first down, Watson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's 2nd down.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Watson. Throwing again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, black 22.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Houston. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. And it's Clayton Dix with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. Now a give to Peterson running right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Peterson running right. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Third down, it's Adrian Peterson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. He's back to throw. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, and a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.